All right, cool. So, hi guys, I'm Brigitte. I don't know all of you guys, but I'm excited to talk to you guys. I'm not going to take up a bunch of your time tonight. I'll only take up a little bit of your time. Real quick, I've been a member of Project Fearless for almost or over 3 years now. And I'm excited to share this topic with you because it's not really anything that's super new, but I think it's something that has been working for me, and I'm excited to share with you. So I'm going to share my screen with you because I have some slides to share. Hold on one second. All right, so let me just drop this down. And unfortunately, I totally lose you altogether when I'm sharing my screen with you. So hopefully you guys can still hear me. If you don't hear me, somebody private message me and tell me. All right, so I'm going to be talking tonight about expanding your market with authentic outreach and interest groups. So here's an kind of like an overview of what I'll be talking about tonight. So basically, telling your story, sharing interests, trials, what life is like in the trenches, whatever's happening in your life right now, connecting with like-minded people, being a leader and a director in the area of your interest, and knowing that you don't have to be an expert. You're just basically a guide, involving others, serve and invest, and rinse and repeat. So that is going to be the topic that I'll be talking about tonight. All right, so I'm going to start with this kind of a touchy subject. Some of you that are on this call are aware of some things that happen with me this summer. This is a picture of my daughter Ava, and she is 14. So if any of you have any, I happen to be in her room right now. I asked her if I could have her space, the door shut, and she's supposedly downstairs with my husband. We had a rough summer. We had some, we definitely had some things happen that shocked us, just decisions that she made, and just a summer filled with anxiety and fear and a lot of teenage stuff. I mean, you guys were teenagers. I know that, I was a teenager and went through some stuff too, but it took us, my husband and I, by surprise. And it was a very, very rough summer. And so I tell you that part to say to you, as I'm speaking, be thinking about what's happening in your life right now. It doesn't have to be a tragedy or something awful. It can be, maybe you just got a puppy. Maybe, you're getting married. Maybe you're going on a cruise for the first time. Like whatever is happening in your life right now, try to find that, try to pull that out while I'm speaking. This happened to be something that took place in our lives, and it kind of encompassed us. But there is a happy ending, so don't be too depressed right now. So because we were going through some things that were causing my husband and I to fear, and my husband and I to not know really what to do, I bought a book. I bought a book called The Love Dare for Parents. Maybe some of you know about a book called The Love Dare. The Love Dare is like a book that you do, or it had been invented for like married couples that were kind of like, on the fritz. And it was kind of like a 40-day dare where you did a dare a day on your spouse in an attempt to bring that love back to the marriage. Well, I discovered that there's a book by, I guess, the same authors called The Love Dare for Parents. And it was a way for me to reach out to her. And I did it. And so I started in August. And so this like head-on fighting all summer, screaming and yelling, I just could not tolerate it anymore. And I knew that there had to be a way out. I knew that I wasn't going to live the next 4 years in this kind of relationship with her. I didn't want that. And so after I did the 40-day dare on her, she started to soften. I started to soften. What really happened was that I discovered things about myself that I had to change as a parent. And so that leads me to my next slide. My next slide is this. Because I knew that it was bringing our relationship back together again. It was causing us to become friends again, be able to speak to each other without, this headbutting all day long. I happen to belong to a group on Facebook called Christian Wives and Moms. And so basically, I just introduced the book to these women because I thought, surely if I'm going through some of this with my daughter, there are other people who are going through similar things with their children. It doesn't have to be a 14-year-old daughter. It could have been, it was a son or a little child or whatever. And so I put this post up on that group that I belong to. And if you see, there's 199 people who liked it. And I can't show you all the comments, but the comments were like crazy. And I basically just introduced the book, shared a little bit of my story, like what I just shared with you, and I encouraged people to get the book. So, what happened in the midst of that conversation that was happening under this post was I discovered, wow, like, ding, 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 maybe I should have like a free group. I actually called it a book club, and I have a giant amount of people that responded and were like, oh my gosh, I would love to read this book with you. I'd love to read this book. I need this book. I need this in my life. I'm having this and I'm having that. And people were reaching out to me in private message and telling me what's happening in their lives with their children. And so I cautiously invited them into my own book club, into a group. I did receive a message from the admins of this group that said, we really don't like, people starting new groups and kind of like pulling people away from this group. And I just, I was like, oh my gosh, absolutely. I had already had the interest of over 70 people at that point. And so I was like, okay, thanks. So at this point, here's a few like business building activities that went along with the fact that I was going through this tragedy, and I knew that there were other moms that were going through this tragedy as well. So the invitation went up for them to join my virtual book club. I was gonna start the book all over again, the Love Dare for Parents 40-Day Dare, and people were like, yes, add me. So I had one requirement, which was that they had to become friends with me on Facebook first. And they did. And so right away, I had, I think, about like 83 brand new friends on Facebook. That was in one day. Like, this was in like 1 hour. I private messaged them to make sure they found the group. So that opened up the door of Messenger with them. I had it open for 3 days before we started. So I introduced this on like a Thursday or something like that, or Wednesday or Thursday. And on Monday we started. People were rush ordering the book to their homes. People were downloading it to their Kindles. I mean, people were encouraged by my story, and they wanted to have this same kind of relationship with their children. So for those 3 days before we actually started the Love Dare on our children, I had an opportunity to kind of treat it like an accountability group. And I asked them all to introduce themselves and share a picture of their children and maybe share like one thing that they wanted to share about their kids. It was a great way for me to build relationship with them, for them to build relationship with each other. It was amazing. It has been amazing. Okay, so let me get to the next slide. So within the group, as we've been doing the dare each day, I also have a lot of like fun things that I'm putting in there. I'm going live and chatting with them. I'm also, putting up little memes and little things in there so that we can like stay real and stay, fun, so that it's not like so super serious all the time, and so that they can see my personality a little bit more too. hope I didn't skip a slide. Okay. So the other thing that I wanted to mention, as you are thinking about what your interest is, or what is ever is happening in your life right now, how you can kind of like create this environment that has nothing to do with Beachbody, that has nothing to do with health and fitness. It's just basically an avenue for you to expand your network, get new friends, and have them begin to trust you and like you and know you. And so as you are discovering that interest and starting your groups, you can be a leader. And that doesn't mean that you have to be an expert, because of course I didn't have, I haven't like mastered this parenting at all, but I'm just doing this with them all over again. So one of the big problems that we had, and I came up with a big solution, was that not everybody had the book. And some people were like, oh my gosh, can I add my friend? Can I add my friend? Of course you can add your friend, right? Yes, you can add your friend. And so the big problem was that I was finding that a lot of these women didn't have the book. And we were like, we were about to start, or we were on day one. And some women didn't have the book. So I decided that I would read the chapter every day. And it was short. It was very short. It's like a dare a day. And so it's like 2 pages and then a dare. So I was like, well, that's easy. I can read that. And then it dawned on me, wait a second. Why don't I ask them if they would like to read also? So this group has morphed into something so phenomenal, where I put up like a poll on Sunday and I asked like, who would like to read this week? And they're like, I would, I'll read. And so this is just an image of one of our moms in the group reading with her little baby in her arms. And the conversation that takes place underneath is excellent. It's friendship building. It's them seeing that I'm real. It's me seeing that they're real. I apologize. I keep looking at my phone because I'm like hoping that you guys can hear me, and I'm like checking to see if Joan's letting me know she can't hear me, but I think you can, because I think she would have messaged me. So I want them to feel like it's their group as well. And so it's not just like Brigitte group at all. It's our group. Okay. And so here's a picture of me reading. And so I connect with them in meaningful ways, meaning that I ask them for, you know what? I think I did skip a slide. I'll go back to it. It's okay. I connect with them in meaningful ways. So each morning I'll put up a post that says, here's the dare, one of us or so-and-so is going to go on live later. But does anybody have any prayer requests, for your children or whatever? And so, people will write down their prayer requests, and we pray together in this group live. And so here's the fun part. The fun part for me, as another really business building tip for you, when you do have these groups. So I have like 83 or 84 people in this group. Of the 83 or 84 people, they're still not all my people. Like they kind of are, but what I did was I went through all of the members list. I visited each of their pages, and I looked to see which of these 83 people would I be friends with in real life? Which of these 83 people do I think are possible customers or are possible coaches even? And I put them all in an interest group. An interest group is very easy to create. What I'll tell you in a second how to create it. But what it does is when you click on it, your newsfeed turns into just the people that you've put in your interest group. So as I went through all those 83 people, I was like, oh my gosh, she's so me. Oh yeah, she's so me. Oh, she talks to me all the time. she's, she has a daughter my age, just like my, a daughter who is Ava's age, blah, blah, blah. So I took all those people, and there's like 30-ish people that I have in my interest group. And when I click on that, instead of scrolling through Facebook, I don't waste time with that. I go right to my interest group and I start scrolling through Facebook, and it's just them. So then I can comment and I can like, and I can private message if there's something that I want to know more about. It is building huge relationships. It's getting them to realize that I'm out of the group and I'm actually visiting their page, so I care about them. And what happens as soon as you start liking and commenting on other people's posts and you start private messaging them, your posts start showing up in their newsfeed. So how to do that is, maybe I can write some notes up for you, but if you go to your home page on Facebook and you look on the left-hand side, there's like a little list there. And it says, friends, I think it says friends group. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to like look back and write this down for you, but I think it says friends group or interest group, something like that. And when you click on that, a new window pulls up, and you can just add the people that you want in there and just hit, create or something like that. And there you have your interest group. It's pretty neat thing that Facebook has given to us. I don't think I missed a slide, actually, now that I look back. Give me 1 second. Yeah, okay. So rinse and repeat. This is the fun part. The fun part is that today is day 29 of the Love Dare, and I don't want it to end. And so I have personally started reading this book. I've already read it through one time. I'm reading it a second time. If you have kids, by the way, you want this book. Even though there are little children on the cover, this applies for teens as well. But I started reading this book, Loving Your Kids on Purpose. And I started, I've been listening to the women in my group. I private message them. I talk to them. They talk to me. They're talking in the newsfeed. So I know that they're still, they haven't arrived, just like I haven't arrived as a parent. You are always like looking to be a better mom. And so I do know that when I introduce this book to them, and I've already introduced it to a few of them in private message, they're like, yes, I want to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to do it better. So I'm just going to let this group overflow into this new group doing this book. And when I do introduce it to them coming up soon, because we only have about 11 days left of the Love Dare, I want to give them a chance to order this book, to buy this book. And I want to give them a chance to invite a friend or two. And so basically what I've done was opened up myself, shared what's really happening in my life, and invited other women into my life, and have asked them questions and have related to them, and have found that other people are going through the same thing as me, and built 83 brand new friendships with these people. And what is happening is that they are commenting and liking and messaging me. Several of them are in our Snoop groups now. 2 enrollers have been sent out. So things have been going very well with this concept. And so, like I said, you don't have to have some big tragedy in your life. You can just figure out what are you doing right now? Like, what is happening in your life that you can either, advertise on Facebook and start like a little community like I've done, or you can just share what's happening. So I just want to end with this. This is my daughter, Ava. This picture was taken last week. Things are starting to heal in our relationship. Things are much better now. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the book that I read. I'm grateful for all the women that have supported me through this, and that I can continue to also support. So thank you guys so much for listening. I'm going to stop if I can. Exit. And I'm going to stop share. And just, if any of you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer. Or if Joan is going to jump back on right now, I'm happy to mute myself and let Joan jump on. Actually, I guess I can check messages. I don't know if anybody has any questions. I don't think so. Thank you so much for being so kind in all of your messages. You guys, I appreciate it. Okay, great, great, great. Thank you. Thank you, you guys. I appreciate it. So I guess that's it. I'm excited. I hope you guys, found this helpful. And somebody said you're gonna buy the book. Awesome, buy it. And listen, if you guys start a group like this, message me because I want to hear about it. Thank you, John. I love you too. And I'm excited. I'm really excited about what's happening in my business. And message me if you guys want any help with anything. Okay. Alrighty. See you guys later.